sustainability is something that you can keep up, right? Something that's livable, something that's doable. And in the health world, what does that mean? It's sort of crafting something that involves a sustainable way to move your body, a sustainable way to put nourishing foods in your body, right? Things that you craft to make it livable for you so that you want to keep doing it. So it has to be enjoyable. So I think that that's really the big piece of this. In order for something to be sustainable, you have to like it. In terms of happiness itself, happiness, making that your goal, like achieving happiness, I think that's hard, right? But if you can find ways in your journey to be happy along the way, like actually finding the joy in the journey, whatever that is. If you're trying to craft something that's a healthy lifestyle and you can find joy in that, there's your happiness, right? The happiness doesn't have to come at the end. In fact, we should be really working on getting happy all along, like finding the joy in our choices and all of that. So and I think that also makes it sustainable, right? Because we're always in the doing, and if the doing is joyful, you've got it. Mindset is everything. You know, when I think about it, we always talk about like how you think determines how you feel, and that determines what you do. So what's going on up here, and if you can shift it and change it and be aware of it, that's everything. The word yet, which sounds strange, but putting the word yet after phrases. Because here's the thing, I don't know if people have heard about growth mindset versus fixed mindset, but we have a tendency to speak, we believe what we think, and we have a tendency to sort of say things that aren't necessarily helpful. Like, I don't have the skills to apply for that new job, period. That phrase ends the story, right? Where do you go from there? If you just put the word yet after that sentence, I don't have the skills to apply for that new job yet, the window is open, the door is open. Now you can say, well, there's room to grow from there. There's things to do from yet, right? So it sounds crazy, but that word yet is sort of a magical word. We tend to beat ourselves up a lot. It's a very normal human instinct. But once you catch yourself, there's a great little thing you can do, and it's called talk to yourself as you would a friend. So imagine that your dear friend said to you, oh, I'm terrible at this. I totally blew it. I'm giving up. I'm the worst. I'm just gonna keep, eating or whatever. You would never say, you know what? You are terrible. Yeah, you should just give up. You are the worst at this, right? We just would never do that. But for some reason, we do that to ourselves. But if you can actually take a breath, take a pause, and write down, I think it's actually more helpful if you write it down. Write down what you would say to a friend, interrupt your own thought. That's a very simple thing. It can just be a sentence, but sometimes that sentence is really, really powerful. That just says, you know what? You can do this. It's gonna be okay. You can move forward. You're saying it to you, and it works. It's a really good tool. One very simple way to create a gratitude practice is to do something that we call 3 good things. If you pick a time, I usually do in the morning with my cup of coffee, and you write down 3 good things that happened in the last 24 hours. They can be tiny, they can be big. I got a raise, well, that's a big one, right? Or my cup of coffee is delicious, the perfect cup today. And that counts, right? And you write down the 3 things, and you write down maybe what's good about it. It's warm, it's delicious, it's comforting, I'm loving it, right? So you write the 3 things. You do that every day. And what's interesting is that when you start doing this practice, you start noticing that you walk around the world and you start looking for the good things. And that's the muscle we want to build. We want to build the muscle so that we start thinking in a more positive light, right? And that you have to work on that. That doesn't come naturally to everybody, right? But a gratitude practice can really help with that. It helps you to look and practice and build that muscle.